Stop right there. Before you pour that dressing on your salad, you need to watch this video. What I'm about to show you will completely change how you think about salad dressing forever. Did you know that the average American consumes over 150 pounds of sugar per year? And here's the kicker, a significant portion of that is coming from something you probably think is healthy, your salad dressing. I'm about to expose 8 salad dressings that are literally sabotaging your health goals. These aren't just not great for you, they're actively working against everything you're trying to achieve with that healthy salad. We're talking about ingredients that promote inflammation, disrupt your gut health, accelerate aging, and yes, even contribute to weight gain. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which dressings to avoid, why they're so dangerous, and most importantly, what to use instead. Plus, I'll give you a simple formula to make delicious, healthy dressings at home in under 2 minutes. If you're ready to stop unknowingly poisoning yourself every time you eat a salad, smash that subscribe button and let's dive right in. Trust me, your body will thank you for watching this. Okay, we can start with some good news first. So, salads are absolutely incredible for your health. The research on this is overwhelming and undeniable. Studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that people who eat more vegetables lose 25% more weight than those who just cut calories. The Penn State researchers found that when you eat low energy dense foods like vegetables, you actually eat more food while consuming fewer calories and feeling more satisfied. Vegetables, as we know, are packed with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and powerful phytochemicals that fight inflammation, boost your metabolism, and help you burn that stubborn fat. They're literally nature's weight loss and health optimization foods. But here's where things can go horribly wrong. You make this beautiful nutrient-dense salad and then you drown it in a dressing that contains some of the most health-destroying ingredients on the planet. It's like taking a Ferrari and filling it with sugar water instead of premium gasoline. You're not just wasting the potential of these amazing vegetables, you're actively counteracting their benefits. The worst part, most people have no idea that this is happening. They think they're making a healthy choice, but they're actually consuming inflammatory oils, hidden sugars, artificial chemicals, and compounds that disrupt their hormones and metabolism. To understand why these dressings are so problematic, we need to talk about something called the omega fatty acid ratio. This is where the science gets really interesting. Throughout human history, our ancestors consume omega 6 and omega 3 fatty acids in a roughly 1-to-1 ratio. Think of these as two different types of fuel for the body's inflammation system. Omega 6 fats tend to promote inflammation when consumed in excess, while omega 3 fats help resolve that inflammation and keep things nice and balanced. But here's what happened in the last 100 years. That balanced 1-to-1 ratio has shifted to almost 20-to-1 in favor of the inflammatory omega 6 fats. Some estimates suggest it's even worse than that, as high as 30-to-1, and I definitely believe it. This isn't just a very small, insignificant change. This is a complete metabolic disaster, and we see it all around us. Researchers have directly linked this omega imbalance to virtually every inflammation-related condition you can think of: cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome, autoimmune diseases, mood disorders, and even accelerated aging. I think I have your attention now. And here's something that will probably blow your mind. Excess omega 6 intake has been shown to shorten your telomeres. These are the protective caps on your chromosomes that determine how fast you age. Shorter telomeres mean faster aging, increased disease risk, and shorter lifespan. So, where are all these omega 6 fats coming from? The biggest culprit is refined vegetable oils: soybean, canola, safflower, sunflower. These oils are literally in everything, but they're especially concentrated in most salad dressings. When you grab that bottle of ranch or Italian dressing off the shelf, you're not just getting a little flavor for your salad, you're getting a concentrated dose of inflammatory compounds that your body was never designed to handle, especially in these large quantities. Now that we understand the science, let's dive into those specific dressings that are causing all of this damage. Some of these are probably really going to shock you. You might even have a few in your pantry. Dressing number one, fat-free salad dressings. Wow, you might be a little confused, but let's start with what might be the most ironic entry on this list: fat-free salad dressings. Now, I know what you're thinking, but isn't just fat free supposed to be healthy for us? This is one of the biggest nutrition myths that's been destroying people's health for decades. Here's a shocking truth that the food industry does not want you to know. When you eat a salad with fat free dressing, you absorb virtually none of the beneficial nutrients from your vegetables. I'm not exaggerating, the research shows negligible absorption. Research at the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition did a fascinating study where they fed people salads with fat free, reduced fat, and full fat dressings. When participants ate the salad with fat free dressing, the appearance of carotenoids, those powerful antioxidants that fight aging and disease, in their bloodstream was essentially zero. You see, many of the important nutrients in vegetables are fat soluble. Vitamins A, D, E, and K, and powerful compounds like beta carotene, lycopene, and lutein need fat to be absorbed in the body. Without fat, these nutrients just pass right on through. Ohio State University researchers found that when people added avocado to their salads, carotenoid absorption increased by up to 15 times. 15 times. That's the difference between getting almost no benefit from your vegetables and getting massive health benefits. So here's the irony. By choosing fat free dressing to be healthy, you're actually making your salad nutritionally worthless. You're literally wasting all of those expensive organic vegetables that you bought for to be healthier. Disastrous dressing number two: store-bought vinaigrettes. This one might surprise you because vinaigrettes sound so innocent and healthy, right? Oil and vinegar, how bad could that be? Well, with food manufacturers get their hands on this simple concept, it becomes a chemical nightmare. Let's start with the oil. A real vinaigrette should use high quality olive oil or avocado oil. But look at the ingredient list on most store-bought vinaigrettes. And what's the first ingredient? Soybean oil most of the time. And other times it's canola. These are the exact oils driving that inflammatory omega-6 overload that we talked about. But it gets worse. As you scan down that ingredient list, you'll find sugar, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, and something called maltodextrin. Now, maltodextrin is particularly sneaky because manufacturers can claim their product is low sugar while using this ingredient that actually has a higher glycemic index than pure glucose. Then we get to the artificial colors: red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6. These three dyes account for 90% of all the food coloring used in America. Here's what they don't tell you though. All three contain benzidine, which is a known human carcinogen, cancer causing. You're literally putting cancer causing compounds on your salad. In Europe, any food containing these artificial colors must carry a warning label stating that they may have effects on activity and attention. But in America, no warning required. These dyes have been linked to hyperactivity, neurotoxicity, and behavioral changes in children. The tragedy is that a real vinaigrette is one of the healthiest things you can put on a salad, but the store-bought versions have turned this healthy food into a toxic cocktail. Dressing number three, you probably guessed this one: ranch dressing. Good old ranch dressing, America's favorite salad dressing, and quite possibly one of the worst things that you can put in your body. If there was a Hall of Fame for health destroying condiments, ranch would be at the first one on the list. So let's talk about what's really in that creamy white sauce. The number one ingredient in virtually every ranch dressing is, you guessed it, soybean oil. Now, here's a stat that will blow your mind. According to the National Institutes of Health, the average person's consumption of soybean oil increased more than 1,000-fold in the early 1900s to the beginning of the 21st century. This massive increase in soybean oil consumption is single-handedly responsible for shifting our omega fatty acid ratio from that 1-to-1 balance to the inflammatory 20-to-30 to 1 disaster that we have going on today. So here's why this matters. These omega-6 fats compete with omega-3 fats for parking spots. Think of them as parking spots in your cell membranes. When your cells are stuffed with inflammatory omega-6 fats instead of healing, healthier omega-3 fats, your entire body becomes a breeding ground for chronic inflammation. Thus, inflammation doesn't just make you feel bad, it's the root cause of virtually every chronic disease: heart disease, diabetes, obesity, autoimmune, mood, and even ties to Alzheimer's disease. They all have chronic inflammation as a common denominator. And here's another fun fact that might surprise you. About 90% of the soy grown in the US is genetically modified. So not only are you getting inflammatory oils, you're getting GMO inflammatory oils. Our body just does not know what to do with these. But I'm not done. Most ranch dressings also contain sugar and MSG because apparently inflammatory oils and genetic modification weren't enough. They have to add these addictive compounds and blood sugar spikes to the mix. Dressing number 4, creamy dressings. This category is like the Swiss Army knife of health destructions. We're talking about Caesar, French, Russian, creamy Italian, blue cheese, and dozens of other creamy options. They're all variations of the same toxic dressing. What's fascinating about this is how consistent the ingredient lists are across all of these different flavors. Soybean oil is almost always at the top of the list, along with canola. Then you'll find some combination of sugar, high fructose corn syrup, maltodextrin, MSG, artificial sweeteners, and those cancer-causing artificial colors we've talked about before. In some of these creamy dressings, sugar is literally the first ingredient listed. Think about that for a second. You're essentially pouring liquid candy on your salad and calling it healthy. It's crazy. The artificial sweeteners in there, in some of these dressings, deserve special attention because the research on them is absolutely terrifying. Studies show that the artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose can alter your gut microbiome in just 5 days. They reduce the good bacteria in your gut and promote the growth of harmful bacteria. Your gut microbiome is like mission control for your entire body and health. Your health begins in the gut. It affects your immune system, your mood, your metabolism, your ability to lose weight, and even your brain function. When you disrupt this delicate ecosystem with artificial sweeteners and other inflammatory foods, you're setting yourself up for a cascade of health problems. Duke University researchers found that aspartame consumption significantly reduced glutathione levels in the brain. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It's what protects your brain cells from damage. So reducing glutathione levels is literally accelerating brain aging and increasing your risk of neurodegenerative diseases. And those artificial colors, remember, they don't just cause cancer risk, they also trigger hypersensitivity reactions. These aren't true allergies, but they can cause autoimmune flare-ups, skin inflammation, respiratory problems, and headaches, mood issues, brain fog. The list goes on and on. Dressing number 5, Thousand Island dressing. Thousand Island dressing is basically ranch dressing's slightly more colorful cousin, and of course, it's just of a problem. This mayonnaise-based dressing hits you with a double dose of the issues we've already discussed. Since Thousand Island is a mayonnaise-based dressing, you're getting that concentrated soybean oil in most cases that we've been talking about this whole video. But here's what makes this even worse: the sugar content. Thousand Island dressing often contains more sugar per serving than some desserts out there. Think about that. Let me put this into a little perspective. 2 tablespoons of Thousand Island dressing can contain as much sugar as a chocolate chip cookie. You're literally having dessert on your salad and wondering why you're not losing weight. The sugar content creates a massive insulin spike every time you eat a healthy salad. Remember, insulin is your body's fat storage hormone. So when insulin levels are high, your body literally will not burn fat. It can't. It can only what? Store it. So even though you're eating a salad, you're actually triggering fat storage mode. This creates what we call metabolic confusion. Your brain thinks you're being healthy by eating a salad, but your body is responding as if you're eating a bunch of junk food. So these mixed signals cause your metabolism to get super confused and not in a good way, making it impossible for you to lose weight. And just like those other creamy dressings, Thousand Island often contains hidden MSG in the form of natural flavors or hydrolyzed vegetable protein. These ingredients are designed to make you crave more, creating an addictive cycle that keeps you coming back for more of these inflammatory sugar-laden dressings. Dressing number 6, all of the mayonnaise-based dressings. Here's a statistic that will blow your mind. Mayonnaise is America's #1 condiment. We consume over $2 billion worth of mayonnaise every year. So that's more than double what we spend on ketchup. That's kind of crazy to me. And that's a massive problem for our health. Traditional mayo is actually a simple, healthy food: egg yolks, oil, and vinegar or lemon juice. So the egg yolks provide healthy fats and important nutrients like choline, which is critical for brain health. But modern commercial mayonnaise has turned into a healthy food, has turned this healthy food into a health disaster. So the problem is mostly the oil. Instead of using healthy oils like olive or avocado, virtually every commercial mayonnaise uses soybean oil as its primary ingredient. Since mayonnaise is mostly oil, you're getting a concentrated dose of these inflammatory omega-6 fats literally in every bite. So here's where the food industry gets super sneaky. These brands now advertise made with olive oil on front of the jar. Sounds healthier, right? Well, when you read the ingredient list, you often find that soybean oil is still the first ingredient with just a tiny amount of olive oil added so they can legally make this claim. This is why reading ingredient lists is the most important thing when it comes to the food you're buying off the shelf. The front of the package is marketing, the ingredient list is the truth. Always look for mayonnaise where the healthy oil is avocado or olive oil in the first ingredient list. The good news is making healthy mayonnaise at home is incredibly easy and takes less than a few minutes. You can control exactly what goes into it and avoid all of those inflammatory oils and extra additives that you don't need. Dressing number 7, and I'm repeating myself a little bit here, Italian dressings, just because I want to really hit home a lot of these dressings specifically. So this might be one of the most deceptive entries on the list because it sounds so healthy and Mediterranean. The marketing often features olive oil prominently, making you think you're getting the benefits of the Mediterranean diet, which is a pretty healthy diet. But it's all smoke and mirrors, which shouldn't surprise you. So let's do some detective work here. Pick up any bottle of Italian dressing and look at the ingredient list. What's the first ingredient? In most cases, it's soybean or canola oil. The olive oil that's advertised so prominently on the front is usually way down on the list, meaning there's very little of it. Some Italian dressings contain 10 parts inflammatory vegetable oil to just 1 part olive oil, but they can still legally market themselves as made with olive oil. It's like putting a drop of orange juice in a glass of soda and calling it a healthy fruit drink. But the oil deception isn't the only problem when it comes to these Italian dressings. They're notorious for containing hidden sources of MSG, but you won't see monosodium glutamate on the list. You'll see ingredients like hydrolyzed vegetable protein, natural flavors, yeast extract, and maltodextrin, all of which contain and produce MSG. Hydrolyzed vegetable protein is particularly problematic. I stay away from this like the plague. It's made of boiling soy, corn, or wheat in hydrochloric acid, then neutralizing it with sodium hydroxide. This process breaks down proteins into amino acids, including glutamic acid, which becomes MSG when combined with sodium, and we get plenty of sodium, right? MSG doesn't just cause headaches in sensitive people, it can actually disrupt your brain's ability to regulate your appetite. Studies have shown that MSG consumption is associated with weight gain, possibly because it interferes with leptin, the body's natural appetite control hormone. When leptin resistance develops, your brain can't properly detect when you're full, leading to overeating and eventually weight gain. So even though you're trying to be healthy by eating a salad, the dressing could be sabotaging your body's natural weight loss mechanisms. And finally, dressing number 8, fast food restaurant and salad bar packets. So the final entry is perhaps the most insidious because it preys on people who are generally trying to make healthy choices. You decide to get a salad instead of a burger, feeling good about your decision, but then you grab one of those innocent looking dressing packets. Here's a dirty secret that fast food restaurants do not want you to know. Those single serve packets often contain 50 to 100% more than the standard serving size. A standard serving size of salad dressing is 2 tablespoons, but many of these packets contain 3 to 4 tablespoons. This means you're not just getting the double dose of inflammatory oils, you're getting double the sugar and double the artificial ingredients. You're also getting double the calories too. That healthy salad can end up having more calories than the burger you were trying to avoid. But it gets worse. Fast food dressing packets often contain even more concentrated versions of the problematic ingredients we've discussed. More soybean oil, more high fructose corn syrup, more artificial flavors, more preservatives, more MSG. Remember, fast food's cheap for a reason. They're using the cheapest of these ingredients. They're using additives that make you want to come back for more. So think about this. These packets need to sit in warehouses and restaurants for months without refrigeration. That requires heavy duty preservatives and stabilizers that you'll never find in fresh homemade dressing. The sodium content in these packets is also off the charts. Some contain more than 500 milligrams of serving in a single packet. That's nearly a quarter of your daily recommended intake just from this little packet of salad dressing. And the real tragedy is the psychological impact. You're thinking you're making a healthy choice by ordering a salad, so you feel justified in using a whole packet of dressing. but you've actually consumed more inflammatory ingredients than if you would have just ordered the burger and skipped that salad altogether. So what's the solution? Bring your own dressing in a small container. There are actually some great little portable dressing containers designed exactly for this purpose. Your body will thank you for the extra effort. So there you have it. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Great, you just told me everything I've been putting on my salads is terrible for me. What am I supposed to eat? Don't worry, I have you covered with some solutions that are not only healthy, but actually taste better than anything you can buy in the store. The answer is surprisingly simple. Make your own dressing at home. I know that might sound intimidating, but I'm about to show you how to make delicious, healthy salad dressing in under 2 minutes with just basic ingredients. Let's start with the foundation, a classic vinaigrette. The basic formula is simple: 1 part acid to 3 parts oil. That's it. 1 part vinegar or lemon juice to 3 parts healthy oil. You can adjust this ratio based on your taste preferences, but if you like more tangy, then use vinegar. So let's talk about choosing the right oil. Remember, we want oils that are rich in monosodium fats and have a balanced omega fatty acid profile. So your best options for this are extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, macadamia, walnut, and sesame. Always look for cold press, unrefined versions when possible. Extra virgin olive oil is probably the best all around choice because it's rich in monosaturated fats and it contains powerful antioxidants like vitamin E, polyphenols, and of course, it has been extensively studied for its health benefits. The Mediterranean diet research shows that people who consume olive oil regularly have lower rates of heart disease, cancer, and cognitive decline. Avocado oil is also a fantastic option, especially if you want more neutral flavor. It has a higher smoke point than olive oil, making it more stable, and it's particularly rich in oleic acid, which has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. For the acid component, you have a lot of delicious options. Balsamic vinaigrette adds a sweet, complex flavor. Red wine vinegar is classic and pairs well with most of the robust salads. Apple cider vinegar has additional health benefits and a mild, fruity taste, while white wine vinegar is light and clean. Lemon juice, of course, adds brightness and a good dose of vitamin C. In the description of this video, I'll put some healthy dressing recipes that you can make in literally minutes. So let's recap what we've learned today, because this information could literally change your life and alter your body forever. So we've exposed 8 categories of salad dressings that are sabotaging your health: fat-free dressings that block nutrient absorption, store-bought vinaigrettes loaded with inflammatory oils and artificial chemicals, ranch and other creamy dressings packed with soybean oil and hidden sugars, mayonnaise-based dressings that concentrate these problems, deceptive Italian dressings with hidden MSG, and oversized fast food packets that double your exposure to all of the harmful ingredients we've discussed in this video. So the common thread is that all of these have inflammatory omega-6 oils, hidden sugars, artificial additives, and compounds that disrupt your metabolism and hormone balance. By avoiding these dressings and making your own healthy alternatives, you're not just improving your salads, you're reducing inflammation throughout your entire body, supporting healthy weight management, and protecting yourself from chronic disease. So here's my challenge for you. This week, throw out all of those problematic dressings you have in your refrigerator and pantry and make your own using the simple recipes that I have provided. Start with just one, pick a combination that sounds most appealing to you. So I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 8 dressings surprised you the most? Were you using any of them regularly? And have you tried any of your own dressing ingredients or recipes that you'd want to share with us to help other people? Or maybe you found a good store-bought variety where you don't have to make your own. I know we're all busy. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something today. And my goal for you is to avoid all those inflammatory oils, number one, then the sugars, then the additives, all those artificial sweeteners, and more. Subscribe if you found this video helpful, and we'll see you for the next video.